Yo peeps, what's going down? It's MC Noble. Welcome back to another stream. Today we're talking about is there a future in music? Now, a lot of people want to get into music, playing a guitar, pressing keys on a piano, or maybe doing something like mixing, rapping, MCing, singing. And you people should definitely know that getting into music is not what you would call easy. It's not something you can just do. For example, it's not as easy as say getting into a job as a builder. Um, so, is there a future in music? Yeah, I think there is a future in music. It's hard to get into music, but if you really want to get into music, you've just got to stick at it. It might take 5 years, might take 6 years, might even take 10 years. You might just, be quite well known on the social media for what you do for quite a lot of years before, let's say, get the chance to perform on big, variety stages. Um, but if it's your dream, don't give up on it because you never know what could happen. And the thing is like I've been MCing now for nearly 4 years. I think it's 4 years this year, and pretty much like I started in 2015, and basically I've only just now started to go ahead and get the chance to MC in nightclubs, which is what my sort of dream is to perform at raves and be able to get people hyped and go to all these events and be on the stage and hype them up and spit all my rhymes and stuff like that. And that's only just starting to happen now. So I've essentially been doing the music for 4 years before it's even started to get a little bit professional. Now, 4 years is a long time, but it's not at the same time. I've come quite far quite quickly, if that makes sense. I mean, my flow's improved. I'm quite good behind the track, and I'm getting the opportunities because people are seeing that I deserve these opportunities, that I'm putting the effort in. So if you really want to get into something like music, you've got to put the effort in. That is one thing you've got to do, is put the effort in. And if you don't put the effort in, then you're not going to get anywhere because it's hard enough to get somewhere putting the effort in. So if you don't put the effort in, you are essentially going to just get nowhere. You've got to really show that you want it. You've got to show people that that it's what you really want to do. You've got to show people that that you've really got a passion for what you do. I think some people see it as a quick way of becoming famous. Some people think like, oh, I'll just drop a sick beat, and then thousands of people are gonna view it, and I'm gonna live in mansions and stuff like that. But it's not about that. I would not care if I say in 10 years' time we're still coming out to this shed with it looking exactly the same as it is. I'm not. I'm not exactly fussed. I'm not bothered about living in mansions, having flash fancy cars. The point is, I have a passion for the music. I love the beat. I love the music. It's about the music. It's not about what you earn. It's not about what you make. And it's just absolutely fun. I just enjoy doing it. It's fantastic. I don't care about doing it just to make a paycheck. Even though in the future it would be nice to be able to do it as a job and make money for it, but that's not why I do it. I don't do it as a quick way to make money. I don't MC just to make money. I MC because I enjoy it. I have a passion for the music, and I like entertaining people. And one thing you've got to learn as well when you're in the music business is sometimes you've got to work. You've got to work for free to be able to work to be paid. Sometimes nightclubs or venues will say, listen, look, I see you're a singer, I see you're a rapper. We're having a little night near you in a couple of weeks' time. If you come down to the event, we'll just give you a little go on the mic and see how you go. And as much as you think that is them sort of, just adding someone to the lineup for nothing, it's essentially like a trial work. So when you're up there on that stage, they're seeing exactly how you are. they're looking at you, they're sort of thinking, you know, right, would this person be good on our lineups? You know, would we have this person back to future events? And then sometimes they might get you to go 2 or 3 times. I've gone to Stomping now, 2 times, got on the mic. And, you know, they've probably been watching me. They're probably, you know, letting me have a go, but they've probably been looking out, you know, and saying, am I good? You know, am I worth this? Would I, you know, would they put me on a lineup? And, you know, they're giving me the chance to improve as well on the stage. And then one day they're probably going to say, right, we'll add you to the lineup. And you know what I mean? And that's what you've got to do. You've got to work for free to get paid, because you've got to show people what you like. It's kind of like, say you go for a job in a shop and they say, right, listen, look, come down, you know, we'll start you on Saturday on a week's trial. You know, you've got a week to show us that you're good enough, and if it goes well, you know, you've got the full job. That's kind of the same with events, but obviously, you know, events don't run every day. So sometimes, like, you've got a month between events, but they'll have you back a few times. They'll probably watch what you're doing. You know, they'll see what you like on stage. You know, it's all right being good over a video, having the best flow, spitting a 616, having all the bars, being on point. But if you're no good on the stage, if you're nervous around the fans, if you're going to be stuttering with what you're saying, if you're going to mix up with your words, if you're going to sound absolutely terrible on stage because you're nervous, then, you know, they're going to say, they're not going to get back to you, because they're going to be like, you need to improve. Do you know what I mean? It's all right being good on videos, but if you're totally different on stage, that's a completely another thing. And I will admit, when I did my first on the mic at Stomping, I got to admit I was shitting a brick. I kind of went to the event like having the slight idea that Dave might let me on the mic, but I wasn't completely certain that I'd get on the mic. So I was kind of like half prepared but not prepared, and then he kind of said I could go on the mic, and then I kind of thought I'll wait. You know, I said I could wait for a bit, so I waited for a bit, had a few drinks, and to be honest, I'm not gonna lie, it got me on that mic, and I was shitting a brick. I'm not gonna lie, I was absolutely crapping myself. Like, I went nervous. I was stood there, and you can see by the video that I was literally just, you know, I was looking down at the floor. I was saying my bars and stuff all right, but the other guy was moving, he was bouncing around, he was shaking his hands, he was sort of hyping with the crowd, like, and it wasn't just what he was saying, it was the fact that he was bouncing around. So, like, his energy was making the crowd feel more alive, the fact that he was almost like dancing on the stage while holding the mic, and, you know, he's kind of like shaking his hands and smiling and getting right in it and moving and grooving his head, and that's what I didn't have. Now, luckily, Dave, I know Dave quite well, so he let me have a go again at the next Stomping. And the next Stomping, I'm not going to lie, I was absolutely completely different. I kept having a blast on the mic. I was on the mic for quite a lot of the night. Like, I just took over, like, from, you know, lineup MCs, like, when they were having a break, say they're just having a little break, getting a breather, I'd just spit a little bit of rhyming on the stage, and then, you know, I'd maybe be on for a couple of minutes, and then I'd give the mic back, and then a bit later on, I'd go back on the mic. And it was just, you know, my energy was different, my flow was a lot better, but most of all, my confidence in the club had absolutely really improved. And that's what it's all about. If you really want this, you've got to make it work. And to be honest, the fans aren't really going to care if you mess up on stage, especially, let's say, more at a rave. You know, if you're emceeing at a rave, they're not really going to listen too much, because, to be completely honest and truthful with you, you go to a hardcore rave, let's be honest, people are going to be off it, probably like drunk. You know, there's probably some of them even on drugs. Well, I know for a fact that some people will have been on drugs. You know, they'll have been pre-drinking before, and, you know, having a few drugs, you know, sniffing a few lines or something. So, to be honest, they're going to be out there with the music, and if they can just hear an MC whittering on, they're going to be happy. Do you know what I mean? They aren't really, especially, honestly, going to be really completely listening to every bar. And, you know, if you say check 1 2 and then make a mistake, they aren't going to go, oh, he made a mistake right there, and they aren't going to criticize you for it, because, you know, they're going to be dancing, they're going to be having a wicked time. They're going to be absolutely mentally having a wicked time. They're going to be absolutely off it, enjoying the music, and it's just going to be a buzz for them. It's just going to be an absolute buzz. They'll be looking at the MCs, but they won't actually physically be they won't actually be really bothered, listening out to see if they get the rhyme wrong, because they're not listening as such to the rhyme. They're more just kind of getting off it and dancing to the music, and they're caring about, all they're caring about is dancing, making sure that the drink's topped up, and that's about really as far as it goes. So if you do get a gig, how do you prepare for a gig? This is one thing that I've had to do a couple of times, but I haven't done it much. But I kind of, if I want to prepare for a gig, like, what do I do for a gig? So let's say that you've been asked to do a gig. Now, let's say, for example, this is a nightclub gig. So let's say you're an MC or a DJ, and you've been asked to play at a nightclub. So say like I don't know, let's say for example, you're going to be like early on the night. So the event's more or less just kicking off. You'll be either like first or second, and you'll just be emceeing like over some supported DJs, or you're just having a blast some point through the night, or you're actually getting your first official set. So what would I do to prepare? Well, obviously, if I'd known about this event, let's say 3 or 4 weeks before the event was happening, I would get some practice in. So let's say, for example, the event is a hardcore event. Let's say there's hardcore music going off. Let's say the tunes are absolutely bouncing on the night. Like, that's the vibe that it's going to be. It's going to be hardcore, hard dance. So what I would essentially do, if you officially don't know exactly, if you're just having a blast, and say you don't know exactly like which DJ you're going to be emceeing over, so you don't know if they're going to be mixing the hardcore, the hard dance, hard style. So what you want to do is you want to be practicing over them 4 weeks. Now, depending what else you do, some people have a normal job as well, maybe a builder in the day, work in a shop or something. So whatever time you get, just spend that little bit of time a day, go into an area where you can do your music. I come into the shed, go into an area where you can do your music and put on a mix, whether it be in headphones or Bluetooth speaker, or let's say you've got the equipment like me, and put on the mix and just have a little blast for a little bit of time till you feel you've had enough for one day, and just keep doing that each day. Put a different mix on. Don't do the same mix every time, because every mix is different. But put on a hardcore mix, a hard dance mix. Just go over some bars. Just say some stuff that you maybe already said, like over different styled songs, like maybe bassline songs. Just and think of things to get the crowd hyped. Just work on like things that you're gonna say. When the beat fades out, you're gonna say like, put your hands up in the air to the crowd, and just really have a little practice, have a little bit of a go. And really do that, just do a little bit each day, maybe on a weekend, or when you get more time, do a little bit more, maybe twice a day on a weekend or something. And when it comes to the week of your event, have a practice, but don't practice as much. Now, I know this sounds like daft, like don't practice as much near the time for an event, but you don't want to overdo yourself. You don't want to absolutely MC every single day, nail it, and then lose your voice for the event. Practice, but don't absolutely cane it and go mad. Just don't practice for as long on the week coming up. Just make sure you know what you're doing. When you feel confident, just have a quick little blast to sort of make sure that you're all right. And then when it comes to the day of the event, just have a little practice in the morning. I wouldn't recommend practicing like afternoon and night, because you want to have that time to relax before you actually go on the stage. You don't want to MC all day and drain all your voice out and then be absolutely clueless on what to do on the night because you've just been MCing all day at home. So what you want to do is have a little practice in the morning, and then maybe just before the event, just in your head, just go over some of the bars that you are going to say, and just be ready and just be prepared. Be well dressed. You don't have to obviously wear a suit, but being nicely dressed to give a good opinion and interacting with the crowd is a good thing. Don't just go on the mic and spit your bars and then spit more of your bars and more of your bars and then drop the mic. Literally sort of respect the DJs, give them a thanks for mixing this mix, and get the crowd to put their hands up in the air. Just get them sort of ready, get them excited for when the next beat drop comes in, and get them to sort of even sing along to some of the melodies of the songs. If a good popular song comes on and a lot of people would know the chorus, kind of get them to sing the chorus and put their hands up in the air. Make them feel excited. Don't just make them feel like they're sat down in a theater watching a show. Make them feel like they can join in and move and sing these melodies, and you'll get a lot of respect for it. When you're an MC in a nightclub, it's not just about what you're spitting. It's not about spitting rhymes and telling stories. It's about making the crowd excited. It's entertaining them. It's all about getting them ready for the beat drops, and it's all about just making a good night. It's not about if people want to go and listen to someone spit bars, they'll go and buy tickets to Eminem's UK tour. Do you know what I'm saying? With an MC's different. MCing is all about spitting them bars as well, to impress people. But a lot of it is hyping the crowd up, and a lot of it is just bringing the energy to the stage. Making the DJ feel like he's doing a good job, getting the crowd excited, which makes the DJ even more impressive. That people are dancing to his mix. Tell the crowd, so ask them if they're enjoying the mix, get them to cheer and stuff like that, and it'll honestly pay off. That is the thing. But practicing before an event is crucial, but just not right before the event. Right, because you don't want to drain, like I say, you don't want to drain it yourself out. If you drain yourself out, you're not gonna be as good on the stage. But if you know about the gig sort of a good few weeks in advance, take them weeks to practice. Just put on the mix of like style of music that they're going to play at that venue, and just have a practice of some of the things you might say. I know it sounds daft, but even hype up a fake crowd. Even I do it. Like I was emceeing earlier, and I literally, I was more or less talking to myself, and I literally said, if you're enjoying this night, crew, put your hands up in the air. Obviously, no one is going to put their hands up in the air, but it's good practice to do it on the stage when the audience is actually there. And I'm telling you now, like, you can take my word for it, it will actually pay off. Now, if you get asked to do an event and it's a bit more short notice, say someone drops out of MCing or DJing, say for example they're looking for someone just quickly, they come across you and they say, right, will you be able to do this event in good time, and say you've only got a week or a couple of weeks, just sort of have a good practice, have a good practice during that week. Don't panic though, because everything can still go smoothly. You may only have a week, but it still can go smoothly. If you are used to emceeing, if you've been emceeing for a while, you'll already have bars that you maybe say regular over sets. Some MCs use a lot of the same bars over sets, so you can use them if you're confident at spitting some rhymes. You know that you've already got rhymes that will spit, and then again you just work on hyping that crowd up. That's what you really, if you remember bars that you've said in the past, like I do. I know like Robbing Business, The Weekend Comes, I know like Who I Am, and then I have like other little rhymes that I always say, and I always say them like in the same order. I'm always quite good, so then I just sometimes occasionally think of a new thing to say, so I'm not saying the same thing all the time, and then I just work on hyping the crowd up, because like I say, they're going to be having a drink, they're going to be drunk, they aren't going to, from one stomping to the last, they aren't really going to remember if you said the same bar at the last stomping to what you really physically say at the next stomping. As long as you're giving the crowd a good time, that is really all that matters. But is there a future in music? Let's drop it back to the simple question. Is there a future in music? There is, but you've got to work for it. It's not hard. It's not easy. Some people think of going on talent shows to get easy fame. Doesn't always work like that. You've just got to be liked in the music business as well. You've got to show that you've got a passion for it. You've got to be nice with the fans. or the people that watch you. You've got to show that you want to do it. You can't just say, I've made a song, give me some money, bitch. Because that isn't going to work. And don't be cocky in the music industry. You know, sometimes people are going to ask questions. You're going to get haters. Sometimes people are going to ask daft things, but getting mad with them just isn't the answer. You know, you do the music business for a reason, because you enjoy it. If you're getting mad with it and you're finding it annoying, there's obviously something that's making you not enjoy it. And if there's something making you not enjoy it, then literally something, you know, you need to change something. But having a bad attitude will just put people off you, because people want someone with music to have a good vibe and a good energy. And I'm not being funny, but that is the reason sometimes why I feel that musicians commit suicide, because sometimes fans can ask of them to try and be this happy person all the time, but you know, the truth is, some things outside of music might not go too well. For example, you know, you might have missed some bills, you know, you might be a bit overdrawn in cash, or, you know, maybe a family member's ill, and maybe it's just like something personal you don't feel like telling your music fans, and maybe it just gets to you. But sometimes, you know, you've just got to sometimes work a way to deal with that. Some musicians can't, so they come, you know, they consider ending it all, and then they do end it all, and then it goes all tits up for them. You know, we lost Keith Flint recently. Don't fully know why, but he did take his own life. You know, and obviously something was bothering him, that he couldn't talk to someone. He couldn't, you know, he couldn't express how he was feeling. He didn't feel like he wanted to do it anymore. Something obviously got him down, but sometimes, you know, people cope with things differently to others. But yes, back to the question, there is a future in music. You've just got to put the effort in, and you've got to take the obstacles that it comes with. If you really believe and really want to get somewhere, you've got to believe as well. If you go there saying, I want to be a DJ, but I doubt it'll ever happen, I'm shit, you know, you're not going to get anywhere like that. You've got to have the attitude. The more you practice, the more you'll improve. It's the same with DJing. You know, you might start mixing and it might just sound terrible and out of time. You keep practicing, you keep working, mixing the same tracks together, then you master that. You know, even if, like, you know, even if you make a mistake, don't cut the mix and start it again. Like, just release that mix, because you can improve through the mix. And the thing about it is it's showing people where you've improved. There's one thing I like about my MCing career is I've got all the proof of how I've improved. You know, I've got my first ever MC that I ever did on Facebook. I can go back and watch that now if I want, and then I can go and watch an MC that I did last week, and I can put the two together, and I can see exactly how I've improved. And you know, it's a good way to show how you've come along. It's a good story. It's a story to tell. You know, you've got a career, you've got memories of what you've done, rather than having a load of mixes like, oh, I used to mix terrible, I wish I could show you, but I deleted it. But the thing is, I can say I used to MC terrible. Check my Facebook page out, and you'll see like loads of videos from 2015, and the flow was just awful. And they can go and watch that. But anyway, that is going to do it for the stream, guys. Like, comment, and share. There is a future in music. Thank you for tuning in, and we'll see you next time.